They're also praying for the people of Puerto Rico.
Calling Trump's gaffes senior moments might seem appropriate if he wasn't in command of the U.S. government and 10,000 nuclear weapons. Now, we've all witnessed his rambling cognitive decline over the years, but now it's really bad. And the latest happened just yesterday. During a Tuesday morning interview on Fox and Friends, you know, the Fair and Balanced guys, Mantides discussed his meeting with Zelensky, and during the talk, he couldn't remember the name of the ocean that separates the U.S. and Europe. You know, the Atlantic.
What did they say to you privately? Because it looks like they're on the same page as you, sir.
Yeah, they are. They're very good people. They're very good leaders of their countries. And they want to get back to leading their country. You know, they're consumed far more with this than we are because they're right there. You know, we have an ocean that's separating us, right? Thing called an ocean, a big, beautiful ocean. And they don't. You know, they're right there.
Whew, now, there's a few things at play here. The first is Trump's mental decline, and the second is this cabal of ass-kissing incels who won't speak out regarding his advancing dementia. So number one is his declining mental acuity. Trump's brain resembles a 13-year-old's bedroom, with a porno on a laptop and the inside looking like a gang of leaf blowers took a whack at it. And any honest shrink will tell you there's something really, really wrong with this guy.
There's a name for that. It's called sadism, which is defined by having pleasure from the suffering of others, from their pain or from their humiliation. And if you are the one causing that suffering, there's all the more pleasure in it. So the fact that Donald Trump is a sadist is completely consistent with everything else we know about him. And it's consistent with his being a psychopath. It's one of the kind of monstrous things about being a psychopath is that there's enjoyment at being vindictive, at destroying those who you think are your enemies. And if you're also paranoid as he is, then almost everybody is your enemy unless the person is worshiping you.
Remember a couple years ago when Trump was talking about the battle at Gettysburg and his mind just went off on a tangent?
Where our Union was saved by the immortal heroes at Gettysburg. Gettysburg, what an unbelievable battle that was. The Battle of Gettysburg, what an unbelievable... I mean, it was so much and so interesting and so vicious and horrible and so beautiful in so many different ways. It represented such a big portion of the success of this country. Gettysburg, wow. I go to Gettysburg, Pennsylvania to look and to watch. And the statement of Robert E. Lee, who's no longer in favor. Did you ever notice that? No longer in favor. Never fight uphill, me boys. Never fight uphill. They were fighting uphill. He said, wow. That was a big mistake. He lost his great general, and they were fighting. Never fight uphill, me boys, but it was too late.
Well, the military is a subject that exposes both his lies about bone spurs and his comments to John Kelly about the men and women who served.
One thing Trump is not talking about, new blistering revelations from his former chief of staff, John Kelly. In a statement to CNN, Kelly confirms long-standing allegations that Trump called prisoners of war suckers. Trump is said to have made the remark at Arlington National Cemetery on Memorial Day. I don't get it. What was in it for them? Before laying flowers on the grave of Kelly's son, who was killed in action in Afghanistan. Kelly also says Trump did not want to be seen with soldiers who were wounded in battle because it doesn't look good for me.
Now, these comments are disturbing, but also symptomatic in the way that he feels invincible, where he can say anything and his base will accept him.
Would you rather have 4 years of Donald Trump as a dictator or 4 years of President Biden reelected? You know, you don't have to like the words that come out of the man's mouth, but sometimes in life we all need a good paddling from the principal.
But Trump has been showing signs of dementia for a while, and while Fox won't mention it, you know the world is shitting its collective pants because there doesn't seem to be a Republican with the balls to stand up and say, the emperor is naked, and pardon me while I throw up. But the most recent comments to the young men and women graduating from West Point was, what's the right word, fucking nuts? You tell me what he's trying to say.
A trophy one. It didn't work out too well. But that doesn't work out too well, I must tell you. A lot of trophy wives, doesn't work out. But it made him happy for a little while at least. But he found a new wife. He sold his little boat and he got a big yacht. He had one of the biggest yachts anywhere in the world. He moved for a time to Monte Carlo and he led the good life. And time went by and he got bored. And 15 years later, the company that he sold to called him and they said, the housing business is not for us. You have to understand, when Bill Levitt was hot, when he had momentum, he'd go to the job sites every night. He'd pick up every loose nail. He'd pick up every scrap of wood. If there was a bolt or a screw laying on the ground, he'd pick it up and he'd use it the next day in putting together a house.
He has lost his mind entirely.
The last questions are much more difficult, like a memory question. It's like you'll go person, woman, man, camera, TV.
In the past, Trump has confused his wife with a woman he raped and lost track of countries and states.
This is a tragic emergency. And it's embarrassing for me to be up here. You know, I'm going to see Putin. I'm going to Russia on Friday.
The president said at the podium yesterday twice that he was planning to go to Russia. Was that a verbal slip-up, or does he actually plan to go to Russia?
Perhaps there are plans in the future to travel to Russia. And on Friday, the president will be meeting with the Russian President Vladimir Putin in Alaska, as you know.
So what's next? Well, Trump's frequently bizarre public appearances, which this month has seen the president claim wrongly that his uncle knew the Unabomber and then ranted unprompted about windmills on his recent trip to the UK, have once again raised questions about his mental state.
Where am I going? Where the hell am I going? I want to get out. Oh, no, over there, over there.
For more than a year, the 79-year-old junk food eating obese sociopath has claimed he's 6'3", 220 pounds. For the record, this is Washington Capitals' Alex Ovechkin, who is 6'3", 225, so you can see the resemblance. And of course, Tiny Fingers has exhibited odd behavior at campaign events, in interviews, in his spontaneous remarks, and at press conferences. He repeatedly drifts off topic, including during a cabinet meeting this month when he spent 15 minutes talking about decorating and appears to misremember simple facts about government and his own life. During his presidency, Joe Biden was subjected to intense speculation over his mental acuity, including from Trump. After Biden's disastrous debate performance in June of 2024, when he repeatedly struggled to maintain his train of thought, scrutiny over Biden's fitness eventually led him to not run for re-election. But today, Trump makes Biden look like a Jeopardy contestant.
I like besitos. We have languages coming into our country. We have nobody that even speaks those languages. They're truly foreign languages. Nobody speaks them. Saudi Arabia and Russia will repeat your call.
I have a really good memory. Your next wife was a woman by the name of Marla Maples?
That's right.
Do you recall what years you were married to Ms. Maples?
It's called like Up Here, and it's called Memory, and it's called other things.
So you don't remember saying you have one of the best memories?
I don't remember that. And Putin, you know, has so little respect for Obama that he's starting to throw around the nuclear word. You've heard that, nuclear. We have to win in November, or we're not going to have Pennsylvania. They'll change the name. I talked to Putin a lot.
How much did you vote for? Did you ask him that?
I don't remember that. I saw that this morning. I don't remember asking him that question. I have a good memory and all that stuff, like a great memory.
So where are these little incels while Trump's brain implodes and his psychopathic tics are threatening the economy, immigration, U.S. citizens, and the world?
Why do they need a mugshot in Georgia and not everywhere else?
The sheriff said that's protocol, and they weren't going to make an exception. And I am now going to book the Fulton County photographer for my Christmas card. Because, Judge, and I say this with a unblemished record of heterosexuality, he looks good. And he looks hard.
And his embrace of nationalism and theocracy is emblematic of dictatorial regimes throughout modern history. Now, that's a lot for a person in their right mind, but for Trump, it's all too much. And again, where are those who once opposed him, like his current VP? Where are they when we need them the most? Look, Trump is like a drunk driver with 350 million people in the back seat. And it's time for someone to take the car keys.
I could be a stupid person.
Goddamn right.
It's sitting on my desk.
I'm sorry, ma'am.
Trump admitted he knew Epstein for 15 years.
Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein?
Do you have no shame?
Are you not entertained? Jeffrey Epstein? They don't know what the they're doing.
I don't want to talk about this stuff.
Am I wrong?
Yes.
TikTok.
You're in a lot of trouble, Donnie.
I think he's crazy.
I'm Chip Franklin.